a lot of times people think that, being at the right place at the right time gets you the opportunities. It might be true to a degree, but you have to put yourself out there. So my name is Ira Sani, and I am a director of partnerships at Facebook. And specifically, I lead our regional alliances business at Workplace. Workplace was really built with a desire to use our strengths in the consumer space to bring the power of community and connections to work, because the closer people are, the better work becomes, resulting in stronger and more engaged organizations. And specific to my role, I run a team of partner managers across EMEA, APAC, LATAM, and North America. And the responsibility of those partner managers really is to go out, recruit, onboard partner companies outside of Facebook that can do one of three things for us. One is boosting sales of Workplace. Two is helping implement Workplace at our customer organizations. And three is providing technical solutions on top of Workplace. I run a team of 17 partner managers. And it's funny, my journey at Facebook when I first started was that I was a one-woman team. And 4.5 years later, I've pretty much built this team from scratch. So 17 people across 4 regions. It does get quite, I would say, tiring to manage 4 time zones, but because I'm based in London, I feel like I am able to manage my day pretty well. So I start my mornings with APAC, I spend the daytime with my team in London, and then early afternoons I work with the LATAM team, and then late evenings I work with the team in Menlo Park.
Gosh.
So it's pretty full on, but I would say I wouldn't have it any other way. It's been incredible to, run a team of such diverse individuals with such different regional nuances. And I definitely have Facebook to thank for this opportunity. It's funny. I actually came from the enterprise space. So I never thought that I could have a career within Facebook, because we all associate Facebook with a consumer brand, right? And so when I met with Julian Cordeneau, who was starting Workplace within Facebook, I immediately thought of jumping onto that rocket ship, because it was a small growing startup within a large organization. And it was something new that Facebook was getting into, which is the enterprise space. And so I would say my experience at Facebook has been unique in the sense that I've always ever been at Workplace, which is a small growing startup, which really values diverse opinions and really moves even faster than Facebook, because we are a small team and we each leverage each other's strength, as opposed to finding differences of opinion, because we really have to get a lot of stuff done. And so in my opinion, my experience at Workplace, specifically within Facebook, is one where we take quick decisions, we move fast, and we really welcome diversity of opinion. As long as I remember, I have been extremely competitive from a very young age. I always wanted to be the best at whatever I did. So I think that definitely is something that anyone and everyone who's met me will know about me. In addition to that, what I think really, is my superpower is the hunger and the hustle. So of course, you want to be competitive, but at the same time, I've worked hard to get to where I am. And I think those two inherent qualities, right, of always wanting to do more and the hustle, probably I associate a lot more to my South Asian heritage and to what I've seen growing up, right? I've seen my parents and my sister and everyone around me in India, where I grew up, really, really working hard to get to what they want. And that really sort of influenced my values as well. And when it comes to, when I was 16, right around that time was when I actually decided that I wanted to leave my place of birth. So I grew up and I was raised in Delhi, and I moved to the UK for my undergrad. And it was a big decision for my parents because none of my sort of, cousins or family members had decided to leave India. And I said that I wanted to learn more and just experience a whole new world. And I'm glad that they backed my decision. That's when I actually moved to the UK. So at the age of 18, I moved to the University of Cambridge to do my majors in economics. And I wouldn't lie, it was quite intimidating the first year, trying to sort of immerse myself in the culture, get to know a lot of different individuals. It's a very international university. So it wasn't just, meeting people who were from the UK, but from other parts of the world as well. And it was quite new to me. And relearning and learning at the age of 18 was intimidating, but fun at the same time. So I think that definitely really shaped my career from there on, because that's when I said I need to put myself out there. I need to make sure that I am continuously learning and, as always, hustling to do the best. While I am a confident person, I've definitely always had doubts every time I've taken a new opportunity. But I do think that is natural. Anytime you are throwing yourself out of your comfort zone, it will be a bit unnatural for you to not know all the answers, right? And I think that's where I always tell myself, this is a sign that I'm growing as an individual. It is okay to not know all the answers, especially in today's world. And in fact, if you're not throwing yourself out of your comfort zone, if you're not throwing yourself out in the deep end, then I actually think in some way you are curtailing your learning. So definitely for me, the biggest learning across, whether it was my undergrad, whether it was the different work experiences that I've had, the common theme has been try and increase your learning. Whether that means that you get uncomfortable along the way, you don't have answers along the way, that is not important. Are you growing as an individual? And are you expanding your schools of experiences? And if the answer to both of that is yes, you're doing the right thing. And what I will say to all the female, future leaders who are listening to this recording is that there's nothing you can't do. You have to back yourself, and you have to almost think of it as take a decision, see how you get on with it. And along the way, you might change your path, but never ever think that there's something that you cannot do. Right? So even when I'm in the meeting rooms at Facebook today, and if I'm meeting partners outside, I'll be honest, in LATAM, when I go for country visits, I'm very often the only woman in the room. But I'm going there with utmost confidence, knowing that I've done this and I will back myself. And ultimately, people may have judgments, but that I will not let come in the way of me making progress. Right? So I think that, by the way, is not easy. I'm not saying it'll come naturally to everyone, but it'll come with the years of experience that I've had the fortune of having. But you have to make a start somewhere. I wasn't like this 10 years ago, right? But now I have done this. I worked in Europe. I worked in the US. I've obviously, I was raised in India, which was, an emerging market similar to LATAM. So I know I've got those schools of experiences, and I will back myself. I will not care what the judgment in the room is. I'm absolutely blindsided to that. So look, the first one I will say is that there is absolutely no standard career path, especially in today's world where new industries keep coming. Do not think of your career path as something which is set in stone, right? Look at my career trajectory. I started out as an investment banker in London. I then went on to work in San Francisco in a consumer tech company within operations. And now I run a business development team or a partnerships team at Facebook. So I've done 3 very different things, and I have along the journey understood what my strengths are. So please don't go into this rat race of I graduate, this is what everybody does, this is what I will do, then I will do that, then I will do this. No. Today's world, no standard career path. You can form your own career path, focus on the learning, and focus on some evergreen skills. the way I think about skill set is there are some specialist skills like robotics or mechanical engineering. And then there are some evergreen skills that are building blocks. So an example of an evergreen skill is knowing how to sell, right? You don't need to know how to program, but understanding how code works. Influencing people or figuring out how to get parties to align and get stuff done. These are evergreen skills. If you pick them up early in your career, you can do anything because those skills will be used at a Tesla, they'll be used at a retail store, they'll be used at any company. So in your early days, focus on jobs or on opportunities that will help you get those evergreen skills. And then later you can decide whether you want to specialize or not. Seek people who will invest in you and who will mentor and coach you. You will be surprised how much time people are willing to put to show you the path. You just need to find those people and to follow them. To date, I am in touch with the person who first hired me out of university. I'm still in touch with the founder CEO of the company in San Francisco who got me to London. And I am pretty certain I wrote to my high school math teacher asking her how she was doing during COVID. Right? So just make sure that you are seeking those individuals, keeping in touch, and always learning from them.